All right, so let's talk research. So we have at this point, we have identified our research topic. We have identified our research question. We have done a little bit of research on the topic so that we could create an outline. And now we have even looked for sources using Boolean operators. So that's where we are now. Now we're coming to the favorite part, or the best part, or the most exciting part of the entire process, which is the actual digging into the research. So on my screen, you should see the source. You should see the source note cards. And then you also see three tabs about the different websites and things. And then I also have a book that we're going to also use as well. So a source note card is literally what it says. It's a note card for a source. So the source being the website, article, journal, newspaper article, or book that you found that you feel after doing a crack test will be best to help you answer your research question and fulfill your outline. So the last thing you actually need up is your outline, and I'll get that up in a moment. So let's talk about the parts of the source note card. So first we have right up here the source number. So that's going to be correspondent to 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And let's just quickly pull that up. So that is right here. So see right here where it has source number, that's going to go right here. And you notice it has click to add title. So you can you can know if it's source 1, source 2, source 3, source 4, source 5. Right here is the outline bar. So this is where you are going to put where in the outline does the source actually go. Also very important as well. So is this particular source or quote from the source going to go in your introduction? Is it going to go in Roman numeral 2, Roman numeral 3, 4, 5, what have you? And then lastly, you have right here, you have the actual box where you're actually going to type or copy and paste the line from the source. So if you notice right here, has these cute little quotation marks in the background. And then this right here is for the page number if there is a page number. So let's go back over those again. So you have the source, you have the outline bar, you have the actual note card part where you actually write, copy and paste, or type the actual line that you're going to use, and then you have the page number if it is. Now, you say, hey, Miss, what if there is no page number? Then you would put NA, and we'll go over all of that. So let's first go through how this process works. So I am, based on our last conversation when we last spoke, we know that we were working on this particular source right here, the Boston University source. So all I'm literally doing in filling out these source note cards is I'm going through the source, and when I see a line that I think could help me, then I just copy and paste or I type it. So this is why having your outline will be beneficial. So here is now my outline. Now you could start in order, but I say go through the source and then, ooh, I know this could help me here. So I say go through the source, find as many lines that can help you, and then go back and put in where it could potentially go. So we're going to call this source number 1. So I have already done my CRAP test. So now I'm going through the source. So I'm noticing first so I like this line right here. I'm thinking that it could possibly help me. Because remember, my topic is creating a successful YouTube and social media brand. And right here, quote about the rising popularity for learning. So, bam, I automatically found it. But once again, I'm just looking through the source and then finding as many lines that could potentially help me and then deciding where they would go. So I copy and paste from the website, and then I'm just going to paste it. Now remember, you always want to do Control Shift V or Command Shift V for my Mac users. This will help you. It'll allow the what you copy and paste to paste in the same style, font, what have you, that you are pasting to, not pasting from. And then right here, because it's a website, I'm going to put NA for no page number. And then bam, remember, I'm going to leave this blank until I'm done with the source, and then I'll go back to my outline and decide where things will go. All right, so the next part, so I'm still working on this source. All right, so I'm still reading it. So in my searching for sources last time, I remember this right here. So I know I want to have this whole thing, because it's talking about being consistent. And I know that I believe I talked about that in my outline. So now I need a new source note card. So now I'm just going to go here, and then I'm going to hit new slide. Bam. It's still source number 1. And then bam. Businesses both big and small. All right, so now I'm ready for a new card. So I'm going back to the process. So this is a lot. So I may have to paraphrase or summarize this source up, because as you can see, it has different stuff. But either way, the same process. This is source number 1. There's no page number. And then all I'm going to do is Control Shift V. Now, as you can see, it took up too much spot. So this is where I could just paraphrase it, or I could trim it down. It's just me looking at it, and then I can go back through and look at it later. And then bam, I know I have to have at least 4 per source, so I'm still looking through. I like this. I think this could be something potential. Remember, I'm thinking about my outline that I've written. I'm referring back to my outline, just kind of going through, and bam, I see the analysis and performance tracking. Bam, so I know that is going to help me right here. So bam, it's source number 1, page title NA. And now, based on the parameters, I know I need 1 more note card for this particular source. So I'm going through. I like these 3 sentences right here. I think I might be able to use them. So a couple questions that always come up: the source note cards that I create, am I required to use them in my paper? That's completely up to you. You have to decide once you start writing. I know I made this source note card, but when I start actually writing, I realize this card may not fit. And so that's up to you to decide if you want to use that or not. All right, so now, as you can see, I have this one source. I know it's source number 1 because I did my source note card right here. And now I have 5. So once again, now we can go back to the process of looking at each source, looking at each note card, and then deciding where it could potentially go in the outline. So this first one, both big and smalls, I think this would go great in my introduction. So I'm going to go back to my outline, and I know this is the introduction. So this is, I think this line from the text will go good in my introduction to topic. Now I'll go to my next card. And I know that card should be talking about consistency. All right, so this card right here, card number 2, is talking about being consistent. I go to my outline, and then bam, that's my body paragraph. Body paragraph A, consistent content creation. So I'm literally going to type that right here. Bam. So now I go to my next card. So I know this one was talking about, let me zoom in for you guys. I know this one was talking about what is good content. I thought that was good. So bam. So audience engagement strategies. Bam. So this is another good card that can work for my outline. So all I'm doing is going through my outline, and then I'm tagging where the line, oh, and I'm literally copying it right from my outline. Now I could get more detailed and then be like, oh, this is B1, this is B2A, but just put the Roman numeral or the letter where you want it to go. Track and analyze metrics. That's directly from my outline. That is another body paragraph, and that is called analytics and performance tracking. And then bam, I can go right here, bam, bam, and then bam, bam. All right, so that's the next one. And so now we have one more, utilizing, and let me zoom back out. So now we have utilizing unique ways to interact with your audience will increase your reach. I think this would be a good one, possibly for, I'm not seeing where there's something directly, but if it's talking about engagement strategies, I'm going to put it there, audience engagement strategies. So now I have possibly 2 quotes that could be for that one particular topic. And this is just the first source. So now we would go to the next source. And to do that, we just simply hit new slide, source number 2. And now we're going to actually go through the process of how to create source notes cards for books, but that's going to be in another video. So stay tuned for part 2.